Hi guys, welcome to the second part of my video. If this is your first time here, my name is Precious Lugo. I'm a Nigerian twin mom currently residing in the US. In this video, I'll be talking about how my kids who were given birth to in Nigeria were able to get a US citizenship and US birth certificates. So this is probably my frequently asked question. A lot of people have been wondering what the process is like in Nigeria. How was I able to do it? And don't worry, I got you. I'm here to answer all your questions and talk about my experience. Well, first of all, the process that we underwent is called CRBA. So I wrote a couple of things down. I'll be looking down from time to time to look at the stuff I wrote so that I'll give accurate information. CRBA stands for Consular Report of Birth Abroad. Basically, it's the process of a US citizen parents being able to transmit the citizenship to their child who was born outside the US. That's just all this plenty grammar, that's what it means essentially. So but the parents has to meet some requirements and the child has to meet some requirements too. So let me just go over that. Some of the requirements: one, the child must be under the age of 18. Two, the parent must have resided in the US for at least 5 years. They have to show evidence that, oh, I've been in the US for at least 5 years. That then they should be able to prove that the child in question is their child, whether biologically adopted, but they just have to prove that, oh, it's my child. Then preferably they prefer both parents being available at the time of the interview for this type of citizenship. And then the child must be present. Obviously the child in question must be present. But in a case where one of the parents won't be available, they have to fill a form. I think it's called DS3307, sorry, DS3053, which is statement of consent, showing that, oh yeah, statement of consent showing that, oh, I won't be available, but I consent this child being brought to the embassy for this interview, basically. And that statement of consent has to be notarized at the embassy nearest to you. So yeah, then this doesn't only apply to parents who are married. If one of the parents is a citizen but like the child was born out of wedlock, you're also eligible, but you have to fill, your parents have to fill for DS5507. DS5507 is an affidavit of parentage, so showing that, oh, this parent has been in support, whether physical support or is physically like present in this child's life, whether not physically no, but show that they are present in this child's life and an active parent in this child's life. So you need the child's birth certificate. You need evidence proving that the parent is a US citizen. So in my case, I used my husband's naturalization certificate. And then for the non-US parent, you need your ID. And then photos of your child, like maybe at birth when they were little, like photos showing that, oh, this is my child, this is the growth process of the child with the parents and all that. So for some people, they actually ask for a DNA, but it wasn't so in my case. I heard they have DNA mostly for children who are a bit older. So for my own experience, my husband filed for the CRBA in November of 2024. I gave birth to my kid September. So after filing, we got an interview date. Although the date was a bit far, I think they gave us September of 2025. It wasn't feasible for us, it was too far. So, you know, we kept emailing them asking for a closer date that would be better and all that. So the letter gave us a date that was conducive and was closer to what we wanted. So yes, I think you have that option. If the date given to you is really not something you can work with, you can ask, you know, keep emailing them, ask if there's an availability for a later date and all that. It might take a while, but eventually you'll be responded to. So after we're given the dates, I had to go online to check for the requirements. So I found a checklist of the requirements and everything. Initially, I and my husband were supposed to go for the interview, but the date given to us, he had to go back to work. So he signed the statement of consent, the form 33, I think 3053. I don't know why I kept saying 33. 3053 statement of consent. Yes, 3053. Yeah. It's a statement of consent. He had to sign and notarize it at the embassy in Lagos before he traveled back, because he was around then. But it can be done in any embassy, like embassy or consulate close to you, whether in the US, Nigeria, any country where you are. So after that, I had to hold the form. So on the day of the interview, the date we were given, our interview was for 7, I think 7 or 7:30, I'm trying to remember. But yeah, between 7 and 7:30. So we got there quite early in the morning with my kids. We had their passports, we had my medical reports. I had to get a medical report. It was in the checklist. I'll put a link to the checklist in the description so you can check it out yourself if you're undergoing the same process. I had to bring pictures of myself when pregnant, pictures with the babies, pictures during their child education with the dad and me. I had to bring when my husband was around when I conceived. He was around when I conceived, so we're together, pictures of both of us together during that period. I brought his flight itinerary showing that he was around when I conceived. You know, I brought our chats when I was pregnant, was talking, everything. When I found out I was pregnant, I just brought lots of chats, lots of pictures of us together, pictures with the kids. Then I brought passports. I had to take professional passports for the kids because it's required. So when I got there was this crazy thing that happened when I got there. So from the checklist, apparently you need both the original and some photocopies. I think 2 photocopies of each of the documents. So I forgot that I had 2 children for some reason, and I was thinking of the whole application as one. So the photocopies I brought were not sufficient. I think I did 2 photocopies instead of 4. So when I got there, they were like asking for the documents and the photocopies. I brought the photocopies. Apparently it was not. So the guy was asking me like, why did I do little photocopies when I have 2 children? It's like 2 different applications because they need to document it. So luckily for me, and thank God for that, the guy in question started helping me photocopy it, because when you come in before your interview proper, they ask for your documents first to make sure that you have everything before they now start interviewing you. So he helped me in the office. They started photocopying everything for me. I'm so grateful. Thank you to this guy, because God really used him, because you know how crazy it can be to photocopy or print stuff at the embassy. So after he asked for all my documents, I gave him everything. I was asked to sit down. No, he gave me a paper to be able to pay. I think I made payment before the interview proper. I paid like $250 something dollars. A bit $30 something dollars, $230 something dollars, yes. Because if I remember well, they gave me a change of like $70. So yeah, I made the payment for their passport and the birth certificate that will be given to me after the interview. So after a while, like less than 2 minutes, I was called for the interview proper. They first of all asked me to bring the kids. The kids were sleeping. I went with my mom and my aunt. So they were carrying the children, the kids were sleeping. So they just brought them to the window. The interviewer looked at the kids' faces. I said, okay, that they can go and sit down with the kids. I was now there. So she asked me, how did I meet my husband? I told her. She said, when last was my husband in the country? I told her. Said, okay. She was now going through like the documents that were given to her. So just went through it. She said, dates I gave birth. I told her the dates I gave birth. Asked me the hospital I gave birth. I told her the hospital I gave birth. Said where. I told her the state now that I gave birth and everything. Then said okay, that I should give her a minute. She just started typing on her system. She was not like, that she's sorry that my kids are not eligible, that my husband has not been in the United States for up to 5 years. I said, how? It's not possible. My husband has been in the US for more than 5 years. He was like, but what she's saying in the system here is that he has not been in the US for up to 5 years. I said, it's not possible. She should cross-check again. He said, okay, I should give her a minute. I stood there and I started cross-checking. Apparently, there was an error. When my husband was filling his date of birth, because he filled his date of birth and mine, in his date of birth, he made a mistake. And instead of putting his actual date of birth, he put 2025. So it just threw off the entire calculation in the system. So when the lady found it, she was like apologizing that, oh, she's sorry, she has found it that it's from the date of birth that was filled, and there's an error there. That she said, okay, let her correct it, that I should just sit down. So I sat down. I was so nervous, like, which kind of temptation be this? What's going on? I sat down for like 5 minutes. Later, she called me back, said, congratulations, that my kids are eligible. She now gave me a paper, white paper, which 3 weeks was written on it. Basically, that we have to wait 3 weeks before the passport will be ready. She said, which of the DHLs will I want to pick up from? I told her VI in Lagos. She said, okay. Like, everything was just so smooth, so cool. That one was so, like, it wasn't stressful at all. The immigrant visa one, that's my own, wasn't stressful, sharp, but this one was like, AC just blow your head, you're just sitting down, just chill. It was quite quick also. It's a simple process actually. You just have to make sure you have all your documents, your child is eligible, and then you too are eligible. That's just it. There's nothing much. It's not a stressful process. It's quite easy. It's way easy. But I heard some people actually required to do DNA. I think for older children, if you're not able to prove that, oh, this child grew up with the parent, pictures from the time the child, milestones in the child's life and all that, I think you might be required to do a DNA, but no stress. Highest, that one will take time. But yeah, the process is quite simple. I know people might be confused a bit. I don't know how detailed this video is, but if you have any questions or you want to undergo the process, you're looking for links or anything like that, I can help you out. You can just comment your question. Also check the description for the link to the checklist that I talked about. Yeah, so thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. I wanted this video to be quite short, very quick. See you in the next one. Please make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate the support so far. Bye.